Hello, welcome back, guys. It's me, Shazib, and today I'm going to talk about 7 basic Linux command or bash commands. So, these are the 7 basic commands that we're going to talk about. So, let's hop into the terminal. In order to open a terminal, you can use a short key, the Control Alt T. So, let's get going. The first, the very first command is pwd. What pwd does? So pwd is used to print the present working directory. Is used to print the present working directory. In this case, it's a desktop, and of course, it's gonna print the absolute path, not the relative path. So that what pwd just very simple. It just print the present working directory. In any case, if you are somewhere in your directory and you want to know which directory it is or which is my present directory, you just use this command to know which directory you are. It's pwd. So let's talk about our next command, ls command. So what ls command do? Ls command is used to print the content of the directory. So if we don't give any path with ls command, be it relative, be it absolute, then it's gonna print the content of present working directory. As you can see, these is the content of desktop. So this is what to do. You just list the content of that desktop of the present. If we give it a directory, like in this case is a linux directory in it. So if we give, and it's a relative path, of course, it's linux in desktop, so we just give point and slash, it means a relative path. So if we print it, if we put enter, it's gonna list whatever in don't bother about cd command, we're gonna talk about later. So if we present ls, you can see the both the same, because that's what I do. If you give ls, just write ls without any path, it's just gonna print the content of present working directory. And if you give it a path, be it relative, be it absolute, it's gonna print the content of that directory. So that's how it works. There's certain things I'm going to talk about ls. So as you can see there, in my desktop linux directory, if I say show hidden files, there are some files like .vs code, .vs, but it's not shown here. It's because .vs and .vs codes, any file, any directory which starts with in linux command, in linux file system, is considered hidden, and simple ls command will never gonna list it. So in order to list those hidden files, we're gonna use an attribute -a. ls -a means it's also gonna list those hidden files .vs and .vs code. So what ls do? ls prints all the content in the directory except the hidden ones, and to print the hidden ones, we're gonna use this -a sign, so that what it's gonna print. So let's head back to desktop. Don't bother about the cd command, we're gonna talk about it later on. So let's head about Linux. So we are in desktop now. Suppose we're in desktop and we want to print everything what's in cpp, everything what's in college, everything what's in cp. We want to we're in desktop and you want to print whatever in these files, and also so suppose we are in desktop and we want to print the content of the what's in desktop, and we also want to print what are in these directories of desktop. So there is a very easy command, very easy to do it. ls dot minus capital R. So what it's gonna do, it first list what's in desktop, and then by folder it's gonna list what's in these folder. I'm in recursive, it's gonna print It's gonna go to cpp and it's gonna print everything, then come back and goes to the college, it's gonna print everything, then it come back and goes to the cp here and it's gonna print everything, and so on till the python is gonna do the same. Look, of course it's not readable because there's too much on my desktop. So in order to do so, I'm gonna do this command with some other. Look, else I have only one unhidden directory, not hidden directory. So this is gonna say ls minus r. So it goes to first goes to l, cause birthday and the scripts are text files. As you can see, there are text files, not a directory. These two are directory. This is the only not non-hidden directory. So it's first goes to l. In l we have again a folder named tt, and then it goes inside tt here, and in that tt we're gonna there was a file. How to know whether it's a file or folder? Looks, even that is green in color, it's file, and everything that is blue in color, it's a folder. That's what ls do. If I want to list the hidden files, I'm gonna do ls. So that's what it does. Just go to the birthday, but it cannot go to birthday. The birthday is a file. Let's go to l. In l it's found tt. In l tt it found file, text file. Then it got to .vs. vs that has nothing. In .vs code it of course doesn't have anything. So that's how ls works. And there's one more thing, one more command in ls, attribute in ls, to know the basic information about its permissions, when it created, how the size it has, what's the size of it. So in this command we're gonna use ls.l. Don't worry about this, we're gonna talk about this in chmod command. So just it's create a number, and this is the timing. That if we want, we can't read whatever this is, we can't know, but you can read this. We're using lh command was human readable. So now it's 257 byte, it's a 4 kb, it's of 372 byte. If you want to list that hidden files too, we're gonna say lah hidden files. This is a VS code. Every folder is a 4 kb, I think. That's how it is done Linux. So if you don't want to write this much of command, you can simply use ll command, ll/h. This means it just ls.lah abbreviates to ll.h. So that's all with the ls command. Don't worry about these, we're gonna talk this in chmod. Let's go to the next command, that is cd command. Cd command is used to, as I have done in this video too, it's used to navigate between folders. So for cd command we can use both absolute and relative path. So in this case, I already know in Linux folder there is a folder named L. So if you want to say else, so if I want to go to L, I can write this, or I can write the relative path, home, then shazib. Then what's the relative path? We're gonna say its relative path is this. This is absolute part. That's why I told you pwd is very useful. So if I say pwd, of course it's not gonna change because it's its own. So that's how you do. For in order to access a folder, you can either give its relative path or its complete absolute path. So that's how you navigate. There's certain more things about cd command. So suppose if you want to go a directory up, means if you want to go to Linux, so we don't and don't want to write this much of command, say home desktop Linux. So what to do? So to go step a directory up, we can use cd space double full stop, double whatever you can say that, and tada, we are in Linux. If you want to go desktop, cd, double, we go to desktop. Okay, that's how it's done, and come back to Linux. So that's how you can go a directory up. And in order to go home directory, we want to go home directory. So we can use cd without specifying anything, without writing anything, cd space or without space, writes nothing, no directory, no path, and we print here pwd, it's my home path. So cd dot used to go a directory up, and cd without anything is used to go to jump to the home directory. And there's one more thing, cd space minus sign. What minus sign do? It goes to the previous location that we are in. Look, there's a difference between dot is used to move a directory up. So if we follow this desktop Linux L, if from L it can go to its directory up. It means in this case it's Linux. If we did here if we are Linux, and with this double dot we went to desktop, a directory up. But what, so if we use this command, we will go to desktop Linux. As you can see, we are at desktop Linux. So double dot used to go a directory up, and the cd minus command, space minus command, is used to go to the previous directory that we were in. So that's is all about the cd command. So now we're gonna go talk about the cat command. So the cat command used to print the content of a file. So content of a file or write to a file just means concatenate. Its full form is concatenate, and it's so if we want to write something to a file to a terminal, so we can say cat greater than sign and say this is my file.txt, enter, and I say this is my first line, enter. And if you want to write it out, you can press Ctrl C. So that's how you write through Linux standard input output. So if you want to print what's written in it, you can write cat without anything, without any getter sign, without any sign, cat file.txt. So ta-da, this is what I've written, this is what we have written. So if you want to create, you can say cat file2.txt, and this is second file, Control C. And if you want to see what's written in it, Control 2.txt. So that's what we have written. This is second file. So suppose if I do like this, cat greater than file which we already have written, txt, this is, we enter and Control C. If we say cat file1, so what we know now, we written it before, this is my first line, so it just changes, it completely overwrite the previous written thing. But in some case we want that the previous case to retain, and what we write, it just appends, in this case it's overwrites, but we want to append it, but we want to append something to the same txt or whatever file. So we're gonna, in this case we're gonna go use two greater than sign. It means this is a file that we don't want to override that file we want, and what we write now, it just appends at last. So say this is second line, enter, Control C. So if I print control file.txt, so it was previously written, this is overwrite, I overwritten it using this is, and I using this command, I append this line, this second command, and now we get like this. If that file is not present, it will create a file and if that file is present in the directory, and if we only give it a single greater than sign, then it overrides everything what is in that file. But we don't want to overwrite it at some time. We just want to append the changes last, so use uh, double greater than sign txt and say this is second, and remember to press enter and then control C. And in this case, if you want to get file2.txt, so no, this is the previous written thing, and this is the line just we append it. So that's how you can overwrite it or append it. And there is third more thing. If you want the content of file1 and file2 to be written to a third file, you want to combine those combine these two and write that in third file, you can also do in cat. So cat, I want to write the file.txt and the content of file2.txt, and I want to write it. Of course the first one is used to write and this I want to say file3.txt, and if we open, if you want to see the content of file.txt, it's a, you can see the content of first file. Okay, I'm gonna print content of the first file, cat file.txt. This is the content of first file, and cat file 2.txt. This is the content of second file. So it just adds the content of both the files specified here and put it in the third file. The third command is cp command. Cp command is just used to copy. It just means copy. So if you want to copy this what I have written, I think I have written file.txt, and in the same directory I want to copy the same file with name file5.txt. If I do ls command, you see there is a file.txt command. If you say cat file 5.txt, it's this, and if I say cat file.txt, it is this. So you can see the both have the same thing in it, because we just copy it in the cp command. That's what you can give, either relative path or absolute path. You can either copy in the same directory or where you want. So this is just used to cp command. Now the next command is mv command. Mv command is used to move. So if I'm going to mv, I'm going to move this file.txt to somewhere home. I'm gonna go write the file full path shazib, and there's a desktop, and I want it to move it to the desktop. So I know if to go one up directory, we see double command. So ns, you can see we have file.txt here. Just move the command file.txt, and if I say cat file.txt, of course we're gonna get the same thing that was in file.txt, because the same file we moved. So let's get back to Linux directory. So else, and you cannot find a file here because I just moved it. So this is the one use of mv command. It's used to move file from one place to other place, and we can use mv command to rename a file. So if mv command, I move it to the same directory but with different name. So there is nothing like for.txt. I moved it, that means that's a relative path, and I'm moving it to the same directory with a different name. As you can if I do ls command, you can see that file.5 is gone, but there's one more file that is called file4.txt. if you want to print file.4.txt, it will have the same thing within it, because we just rename it. It's used to move file in first case, and in second case we use it to rename a file. The file 5.txt rename to file4.txt. let's talk about rm command. Okay, rm command. What rm command do? Rm command is used to, first of all let's do ls command. So rm command is used to remove, or you can say delete, file dot. I want to remove the file.to.txt. So it removed. Now we can say we cannot find file2.txt. If we delete something that were not present in it, it will give us error. It will say cannot remove file.txt, no such file, no such directory. As you can see, there is no file or directory named file.txt. So that's how you remove a file. If you don't want to get this error command, you can say minus f. What minus f do? Minus f do this very simple command. If do remove file.txt if present. If it's present, it's just gonna remove this, and if it isn't present, it will not print any error like the previous command. So if I say file.txt, of course file.txt doesn't exist. So first, if we check if it exists, it will delete it. If it doesn't exist, it just simply won't do anything. It will not print the error. So that's how we used to remove a file using rm command. So what if we want to remove a directory using rm command? So I know the l is a directory. So rml, it will give me error, remove l, cannot remove all because it's a directory. It's a directory, not a file. So what to do now? How to remove a directory using rm command? Simple, minus r and the directory name l. What r do? It will delete. It starts to delete recursively. So it first went to the last thing in that l thing, in that l directory. It's gonna delete that. Then we went to the I think that there was a tt folder. It's gonna delete that. Then it comes to the final one and deletes l. That's how it does. I think it's verbose to know what's doing. So what I said, verbo is to print what it does. What slash v minus v is used to delete a directory in Linux. So suppose if I do rml, I'm gonna print mirror cannot remove because there's no such file or directory. So what to do? The same thing, rf. So if it's present, it will delete it. If it's not present, it won't give us error. So that's all for today. Thank you. Bye bye.